guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary and high school age. Today I'm going to update you on how it has been turning off my phone notifications. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so back at the beginning of 2024, I decided that I was going to have the goal of creating a rhythm of renewal. And I have been using the book Rhythms of Renewal by Rebecca Lyons in order to kind of facilitate and guide that goal. The first section in that book is all about a rest rhythm, and the second chapter of the book was all about a tech detox. And we are a very tech heavy usage family, I guess I would say. Most of my kids' passion projects are tech based. I love writing, and so I blog, and I love video editing, and so I have a YouTube channel. My daughter loves writing. My son loves computer coding and animation. They both enjoy art, digital art. And so we use a lot of technology in our home. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I really don't. I think that we have these amazing tools and we should all be able to use them. However, I have noticed over, I don't know, the past couple of years that I get a lot of notifications on my phone. My phone was always dinging for something. Now, part of this is because I do run a very large Facebook group for Maine homeschoolers. I also have a membership community and, YouTube and my website, which I've been running since 2011. So there's always a lot of emails and Facebook notifications and Instagram notifications and all kinds of notifications all of the time. And so when I read through the tech detox section, as well as the keeping a Sabbath section, I realized that I wanted to make some changes this year to my tech usage. Not that I wanted to completely stop using technology. That's not realistic for my life at this moment, and I knew that, but I knew that I wanted to have some more tech-free time and also to reduce the need to pick up my phone or get on the computer. So I've done a few different things, and the thing that I want to focus on today is turning off the notifications on my phone. And when I say turning off the notifications, I mean I have turned off every single notification on my phone. I do not get notifications for any social media. I do not get any notifications for emails. I do not get notifications for comments or anything at all. My phone is really just a phone. Yes, I do still have social media on it, but I'm not getting notifications. And so I have to actively go in to social media, to my email, to YouTube, to actually interact with people. And I think that it has been one of the best things that I have done in a very long time. I grew up in an age where you did not have instant access to everybody. I was born in the 80s, and so, I don't even think we always had an answering machine at our house, but it was just one of those things that I needed to take a little bit more control of in my own life. I didn't want to always be available. It wasn't realistic, especially as I've been homeschooling high schoolers. My schedule, you would think as your kids get older and they're more independent in their learning that you are more hands-off and you don't need to spend as much time with them. But the amount of discussion that we have surrounding our homeschool and just some of the deeper study topics that we deal with, and then also I still have a 4th grader that I'm homeschooling, our days are really full. And so when I would have constant interruptions of my phone dinging or people calling me or just checking one more thing or me trying to answer a question, because I know so many people have questions and I'm trying to help people as much as possible, I realized that I was spending more time helping other people than I was helping myself and my family. And so I knew that I needed to make a change, and shutting off the notifications was that change for me. And I have to say that it took me a while to even figure out that I turned off my notifications because I was still constantly checking my phone. I was still looking at my wrist all the time to see if I had a text message or a notification or somebody was asking a question or an email, those things were not coming through anymore. And it took me a while to stop picking up my phone to even look, even though I had turned the notifications off. When I picked up my phone, there was no notification because I turned them off. And so I was picking up my phone, swiping down to see notifications. Nothing was there. But it was such an automatic, ingrained habit in my life. And I recognized that it was going to take a little while for that habit to be broken. And so I kind of went full stop and instituted office hours. And that was partly just for homeschooling. I needed to make sure that I was focusing on homeschooling, and especially at the beginning of the year when we were in last year's homeschool year, I wanted to make sure that I was giving my kids the attention that they needed for homeschooling. Last year was a super heavy year for Emma. She did all junior year level courses. So she was in chemistry, she had Spanish 3, she had algebra 2, she had a very heavy English and history year as well. And it took a lot of time, and having all of those interruptions throughout the day was not helpful. I needed to make sure that I was helping my kids first and then helping others second. I know that may sound strange, but it was what I needed to do. And it took a little bit of time. And even, some of my family would call during the day and I wouldn't answer the phone. I would put it on Do Not Disturb because I knew that if I got interrupted, it would throw off our entire day. It's very similar like when you set an appointment, like a doctor's appointment at 10:30 in the morning. That kind of messes your entire day up because you're not able to really fully get into stuff in the morning, and then you don't get home until later in the afternoon, and everything's just kind of discombobulated. So kind of instituting those office hours was very helpful, but just turning off the notifications was kind of mind-blowing to me. It was amazing how many notifications I had, and I had already reduced the number of notifications that I had in the past couple of years. I had turned off a lot of notifications. I was only getting, emails and direct messages and some specific comments relating to my YouTube or my website. I wasn't getting all of the things. Facebook Messenger, Instagram messages, those types of things I was getting notifications for, but I had turned off a lot of other notifications in other apps. It's kind of crazy if you have an iPhone and you go in and you see all of the notifications, you have like 100 apps and they all have notifications on. Do I need to be getting notifications that Gap is having a sale or that I have an Old Navy cash coupon to use? No, I don't. I don't need to get those notifications. But beyond that, turning off the notifications for email and for Facebook Messenger and Instagram messages and all of that stuff, it took me a little while to figure out what to do. And when I wasn't getting those notifications at first, I was just constantly still going into those apps to check. And I kind of had to train myself out of it. And then sometime in the spring, I can't remember exactly when, I started to institute a communication routine. Part of that was because I needed a way to manage the communication that I had for my business, as well as just some other general communication stuff with family and friends and everything. And then I also wanted something in place so that I wouldn't always go to check notifications on my computer when I had downtime throughout the day. So I connected it to this margin routine where I have like a list of books that I can look at or some knitting projects or something to do in those margin times instead of getting on my computer. And it has been a little bit challenging overall to turn off all notifications. I especially noticed it with communicating with friends and family, especially, I don't know if it's just me, but I have different conversations on Instagram and Facebook Messenger and texting and phone calls with all of my friends and family. It just depends on the day. And I realized, especially like when my kids were getting together with their friends or whatnot, and we're communicating through Facebook Messenger, well, if I'm not getting a notification from Facebook Messenger, I didn't know whether or not somebody had responded or if a time had changed or something like that. So it took a little bit more finagling to figure that out. And I'm not sure I've come up with a great system for that because I haven't turned those notifications back on, but those times are few and far between. So I'm okay with checking in a little bit more frequently when I know I'm having a conversation with somebody over Facebook Messenger or over Instagram or texting or whatnot. So it did take me a little bit of time to settle into this, but I am so pleased to not have any dinging or buzzing going on throughout the days. Sometimes I miss it. Sometimes I want to keep up with a conversation, or sometimes it's just easier to be told, oh, you have a bunch of things that you need to go approve in your Facebook group or whatnot. But overall, removing those notifications has been so calming for me, and it really has taken a lot of pressure off of me. I don't think that we were ever meant to give people instant access to us always, like 24 hours a day. It just does not make sense. And I know that that's something that's kind of been creeping in both in business and in personal lives over the past 20 years since cell phones and social media have come into play. But I don't think that it's the best for me. You may thrive under having those notifications and the buzzing and stuff like that, but for me, it's just not something that I want to constantly have going on in my home. So removing those notifications and the temptation to see what's going on outside of my home that may not really matter in the grand scheme of things has been so helpful for me, and I definitely recommend it. If you are somebody who is stressed out a lot, or you feel like you have so much stuff going on, when you take off those notifications, it kind of lets you breathe a little bit more. Now, like I said, it took me a long time to stop looking for non-existent notifications. I would say almost 6 weeks of me still looking at my phone to see, oh, did I get a message, or did I have this, or did I have that? And as soon as I would pick up my phone and go to look for a notification, see that there was no notification, I would put my phone down. I wouldn't then take the next step to go into the app, but it may be something that you have to break that aspect of your habit as well. But just picking up my phone and realizing, what am I doing? I don't have notifications on my phone. Put my phone down. It is not the time for me to be communicating online. It's the time for me to be doing something else. It was kind of a mind-blowing experience for me, and I'm really pleased that I did this. I definitely recommend this book, Rhythms of Renewal, if you are interested in kind of taking more control over your life and having a rest rhythm and being able to create more and connect more. I really have enjoyed going through this book this year. This quarter I'm doing the Create Rhythm, and I've implemented a lot of new things that are really exciting for me and things that I've wanted to work on in the past several years that I just have not taken the time for whatever reason. And so definitely recommend this book. But I did want to update everybody because it's been about 9 months of me not having the notifications on. I do have notifications on for some things, specifically my Patreon community and the band group that we have associated with my Patreon community. And I do still get texts from people, but I don't have Facebook Messenger notifications. I don't have Facebook notifications or Instagram or anything X or nothing like that. I have to actively go into those apps to use them. And I almost entirely use those on my computer, primarily because I don't want to get sucked into that doom scrolling. I do have specific times where I will just say, okay, I'm going to just go through Instagram Reels, and that's totally fine. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. But I know for myself, if I have to go into an app through the computer, I'm more likely to use it sparingly rather than sit down and use it for a long period of time and then just lose, hours of your day. So that is my little update on my tech detox and turning off my notifications. I do have a couple of blog posts that I wrote at the beginning of the year. If you're interested in kind of seeing the thinking behind it and how I started to implement that whole process, so I will leave those linked in the description box. If you're interested in coming and checking out my membership community, we talk a lot about homeschooling and goals and home management. I would love for you to come check us out. That link is always in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.